I I get so tired of watching the news and hearing the reports and all that, don't you? I just get so tired. It's just not very encouraging, is it? But I think the big need in the church and maybe in your life and my life is encouragement. I need to be encouraged. It's the exact opposite of discouragement. And if there's one thing that we can do for each other and with each other is encourage one another. That's really what we're called to do, is be encouragers, be those that when someone's complaining or murmuring or talking about how bad things are, try injecting encouragement into the conversation, right? You might be persecuted for it. Seriously, some people might not really appreciate that. When someone's going off on a tangent on how bad things are and you kind of inject encouragement, yeah, but listen now, we're supposed to realize this is coming, and remember our reward is heaven, and remember, that the Lord said there'd be mockers and all this stuff going on. I mean, you might get hit pretty hard with a rebuke for that. Because some people are stuck in a rut. And all they can do is talk about how bad things are. But listen, talking about how bad things are has never accomplished fixing anything that's wrong. All it does is make you focus on it. So that's why Jude is saying, but you guys, you don't do that. You're going to build yourself up in your most holy faith. That is, help build each other up. And let's all gravitate towards the Lord here, right? And if you get beat for your faith, let's all rejoice. Well, that's not what I was looking for when I suffered that way. I was looking for some pity. And listen, this is a maturity issue. When I see Paul and I hear Peter and John and I see what they go through, what they endured, when I see Stephen and I see him dying there, laying under a pile of rocks, and yet the last thing he said was, Lord, don't hold this to their charge. This is a maturity issue, isn't it? Well, how mature is that? Well, it's kind of supernatural almost, isn't it? Well, of course it is. But this is what we want, isn't it? This is what we're after. Supernatural power to endure, supernatural influence in this world. It never is going to happen. These stories wouldn't even be the same, would they? If Stephen said, Lord, get these guys, will you? Man, look at me. I'm just all beaten with rocks and everything. Oh, get them, right? You guys are going to face hellfire for this, right? I mean, we would think, well, he's justified in doing it. I mean, right? They're throwing rocks at him. But he doesn't. But do you understand, listen, do you understand that when things happen in the world or things that are going on in society that you are just feeling accosted by, feeling offended by, and all you can do is complain and murmur about those things constantly? It's just like hearing Stephen say, get him, Lord, instead of saying, forgive them, Lord. Because I can see my reward. I can see the Lord standing there, and he's ready to welcome me into heaven. This isn't about me and what I get here. This is about, Lord, what you're going to receive glory for forever. Right? So go ahead and use my life. Go ahead and use me up. You know, the interesting thing is we're going to get used up anyway. Anybody come to that conclusion? You're getting used up somewhere. We call it being spent, right? You ever use that term? You have a hard day, you've had a long week. Man, I am spent. Huh? Let me just say this. You're going to be spent one way or the other. How much better is it to be spent for the glory of God? for the purposes of the Lord, right? How much better is that? Promises of God. Provision, blessing, love, mercy, grace. I love them. There's a promise that God makes, though, that, yea, all who live godly shall suffer persecution. Do you have that one underlined? Highlighted? Circle it. Star. It's one of my favorite verses. Look at this. The more godly I live, the more I'm going to suffer for it. That's my life verse, right? Some people think you're nutty, right? Don't you have a better verse than that? You know, I like these verses over here that say you're going to be blessed, right, with all that you need. You can do all things through Christ. Okay, I like that one too. I like them all. But listen, there's probably not a more important understanding than what we just went through here as a Christian today. And you're going to face this sometime soon, probably. If you're wondering why I brought this up tonight, that's exactly why. We need to be prepared. I want you to be prepared. I want to be prepared because someday, very soon, I believe, being a Christian is going to count for a lot more than it's ever counted for. It's going to be put to the test in a way that we've never experienced. So